everybody. Welcome back to Mark Clemens Postcards. I hope you have had a good week. We're here to talk about postcards and what sold on eBay over the past week. Before we get started, I would like to remind you, please, if you enjoy these videos, please give us a like. That helps us to look good to YouTube, and then YouTube says, hey, this guy got some likes here. Somebody or something he's saying must be worthwhile, so let's show it to more people. And the same goes for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do that as well, because that also helps us to reach more people. Now, without further ado, let us get to what sold on eBay over this past week. Looking at our sales here for the week, we had a total of $684.99. That was probably pretty much similar to last week. Not a fantastic week, but a good week. We sold a total of 64 items, and my average sale price was $10.70, which isn't too bad for me. I don't have a whole lot of high-end postcards, a lot of average postcards, so $10 is pretty good for that for me. And it was, as I said, kind of a run-of-the-mill week. We look down here, not a lot of great days, a lot of so-so days. The best day was Friday, where I did about $240, so that helped to kind of rescue my week. Now let's see what made up the $685. First of all, we have a dirt street scene in Perkinsville, Vermont. This is a real photo postcard. And if I look up here at the start date, I see this was listed in 2015. So this is 9 years it has been in my store. And I had recently put some items on sale, this being one of them. It was originally listed for $19.95. I dropped it down to $14.96. And then someone made me an offer of $12. And based on the time in my store, I thought I should just get going while the going was good. So I accepted that offer for $12. Next up, we have an embroidered card. This is a Spanish couple dancing, as you can see. And maybe we can zoom in a little bit. You can better see the embroidering on there. Her dress is embroidered. And that card is a little beat up. You can see some creases and things on it. But it was listed for $4.95, and that is what it sold for. Then we have high school, and you know my saying, everyone, almost anyone. I guess there were some dropouts and people that never made it to high school, but for the most part, everyone's gone to high school. That's what I'm just going to say. And this is a high school in Alhambra, California. It is a white border era card, and you can see it is unused. And there's an old automobile outside there. That card sold for $5.95. Then what's up next? Up next is a lot of 100 cards. This is a lot of 100 unused Chrome era postcards from around the USA. Here's a scene in, I'm not sure, I think this might be New Kensington. And there, I'm not sure where that is. Don't remember. This is in Greensburg. Here are some covered bridges. Here is a scene in Pittsburgh. There's a card in Paulding, Ohio. There's a motel, another large building with some old cars. I believe that's in Pittsburgh, and on and so on. But just a nice lot of unused cards. So if you are somebody who likes to mail postcards to people, this is a good deal because you can't buy them this cheap at the store. So that lot of 100 sold for $21.95. Then we have an artist signed postcard. This is a view of the early bird train crossing a drawbridge in Peekskill, New York. The artist here is Howard Fogg, and he did a lot of railroad-related scenes. I often come across his postcards. This is a chrome era. It is unused. And you can see the note on the back here where it says paintings by Howard Fogg, excuse me. His name sometimes appears on the front, sometimes it does not, but his style is pretty recognizable to me. And this one sold for $5.95. Here is a view in Solotesburg, Pennsylvania. This is a real photo view, and you can see what looks to be a church here, and then some houses and some farmland beyond there. A nice real photo view. It is postally unused, and I had originally listed this card for $24.95, but over the past couple months, I kept getting offers from one buyer who apparently wanted it real bad, but they thought that the value was less than I did. So eventually they wore me down, and I accepted an offer of $15.99 on this one. Next, we have a view in Zelienople, Pennsylvania. This is the old Connoquenessing Creek here. Just kind of a woodsy scene, creek in the woods. It is an undivided back era card. It was posted in 1909. This card, I just really listed it the other day, and it sold for $14.95. Here is another lot of cards. This is a lot of 100 holidays and greetings, including all kind of things like Christmas, Easter, Thanksgiving, also humorous cards, comic cards, romantic couples, patriotic, you name it, it could be in here. Here we see a Memorial Day type card. Here is a best wishes. Here is a romantic couple. Here is a birthday greetings. Then we have another birthday greetings. A Christmas one. Another Christmas. Thanksgiving. Looks like I got a line on that. Need to clean the scanner. Thanksgiving, Easter, and so on. This lot, again, some of these were not necessarily unused, but probably a mixture of used and unused. This lot sold for $21.95 plus shipping. Then we have a view in Latrobe, Pennsylvania. This is a bird's eye view from the Catholic Church. This is a divided back era card. It was posted in 1908, and that sold for $9.95. Here is a view in Ligonier, Pennsylvania. This is the Fort Ligonier Cave. This is near or on the same grounds as Fort Ligonier, which was a spot of a battle in the Revolutionary War. This is a divided back era card, posted 1909. This one, I believe, I took an offer on this. This was listed for $14.95. I took an offer of $12. Here is what I call just a generic greeting. This says greetings from Bar Harbor, Maine. Brown Studios, to be specific, in Bar Harbor, Maine. It's a multi-view linen card. You can see some scenes around here that are probably not even of Bar Harbor, just generic views. It is postally unused, as you can see here on the back, and that sold for $7.95. Here's another high school. This is in Trinidad, Colorado. A divided back card, unused, pretty clean looking. and that sold for $5.95. Just glancing up here at the date, that was listed. I listed that in 2016, so that one's been around for almost 9 years now, but it's sold finally. Here is not a postcard. This is a bus schedule. This is a bus schedule from the Edgewater Beach Hotel in Chicago. And you can see here on the front, it shows the bus. This is folded open. The back here shows where the hotel is located up here. And the bus route goes along here, along Lake Michigan, into town and back again. And the inside has your times here, leaving the hotel and leaving downtown to catch your bus in and out if you're staying at the hotel. That was just something I found amongst a box of postcards, or a lot of postcards, that sold for $4.95. Here is a view in Austin, Texas. This is a granite dam that has been destroyed somehow. I don't know what happened there. But the dam broke, obviously. It is a divided back card used in 1910. And again, when I listed this, I immediately started getting offers from somebody about it. I was a little reluctant to cut the price at first, but after they contacted me a couple times about it, I decided maybe I had just overpriced this a little, and so it was a more agreeable to their terms, and I took an offer of $12, I believe. It's funny, as I looked at this card, it says Austin, Texas. There is also a town here in Pennsylvania named Austin that also has a dam like this that broke way back in the early part of the last century and caused the flood. So I thought that was interesting. Two towns named Austin, both with failed dams. That is not one. Here we go. Here is the tour train at Florida Land in Sarasota, Florida. I'm guessing that Florida Land was, some kind of an amusement type park. This is a Chrome era card. It was used in 1967. Here you see the train coming, and it's loaded with happy passengers. And that one sold for $4.95. Here is a railroad station. This is the Main Street station of the Pennsylvania Railroad lines in Washington, Pennsylvania. I believe this is a card that I had discounted, and it sold for $4.97, I believe. It's a divided back card, mostly unused. Nice card for the price. Here is the home of beauty counselors in Grosse Pointe, Michigan. This is pretty sure, let me check down here. It's a Chrome era card. You can see the back here, a little bit of an advertisement there from Christy, one of the beauty counselors. This is an unused card. And that one sold for $4.95. And I'm not sure what the beauty counselors are. I guess if you're someone who's beautiful, maybe they help you to deal with that. Or perhaps if you're someone like myself who is not beautiful, they would help you to deal with that. I'm not sure what beauty counselors are. But anyway, this is the home of the beauty counselors. Next up we're going back to Washington, PA. We were just there a minute ago at the railroad station. And now we have gone to the George Washington Hotel. This is the ballroom lounge, a nice interior view. And you can see the decor from the early 1900s there. It's a white border card. It is unused. It has the price of $1 up here in the corner, looks like. I forgot to erase that. Yes, I do erase prices off of cards. I don't like to leave them on there for a variety of reasons. But regardless, that is a white border card, and it's sold for $5.95. Here's a view in Wellsboro, PA. This is the Boulevard or Main Street. You can see there's some banners up there. Some kind of a celebration. I don't know. Maybe it's a town's birthday, or maybe it's the 4th of July or something like that. It is a divided back card. It was posted, and I can't read the year there, but obviously it looks like early 1900s. Got a little bit of corner and edgeware and some small creasing there, but that one sold for $5.95. Here's a view in Cumberland, Maryland. This is the Hotel Boulevard. Actually just sold the same card last week, a different copy, of course, not this one. Couldn't sell the same card twice. That would be problematic. But I had a second copy of it, which I listed, and it sold immediately. And I think sometimes that has to do with the eBay algorithms. I have a card sitting around for a while. It sells. I have another copy. I put that copy on, and it sells quickly. So I'm not sure what the answer is, but in this case, that's what happened. It's a white border card. It is unused, or unposted, I should say. And it sold for $7.95. Here's an interesting card. This is in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. This is Bruno's Island Racetrack. I'm going to guess that's horse racing of some kind. And it is showing a biplane flying over. And it says, showing Glenn Curtis, who is the pilot, obviously, in his Skylark biplane. So I don't know if there was some kind of an aerial event going on or what the deal was, but Glenn was there in his plane, and there he is flying over. It's a divided back card. It was posted, looks like 1913. And again, this card shows a little bit of wear. It's got some corner and edge wear and some creasing on it, but it sold for $5.95. Next up is a customer who bought 4 lots from me. These are the lots of 100 cards that we've talked about many, many times. The first lot here is a lot of 100 assorted but unused mixed era U.S. views. So these could be undivided, divided, white borders, linens, chromes. Could be anything. It's a mixture, but they are postally unused. So if you're looking for that, that's good. And the second one here is a vintage, again, of 100 assorted, and they are unused, but in this case, they are all linen era cards. And so she purchased 2 lots of 100, all unused, and that totaled $43.90. And then she bought 2 more. And another lot of 100 unused chrome, it says assorted era. So again, could be any era, but unused. And this one is a lot of 100 unused assorted eras again. So could be any era in these lots, but the one thing that they all have in common is all the cards are unused. So I'm guessing that this customer likes to mail them. I don't know. Or perhaps he just likes to collect unused cards. Could be either one or a combination of both. But again, 2 more lots for a total of $43.90. So that would have been a total of $87.80 to that customer. And I like combining those and putting them all in one box. Saves me some shipping cost and some time as well. Here is a view in Weeki Wachee, Florida. These are the Weeki Wachee Mermaids. Pretty famous act. I don't know that the Weeki Wachee Mermaids still perform, but they did for a good while. This is a Chrome era card. You can see it's unused. And the Weeki Wachee mermaids were famous for doing unusual things underwater. Things that you normally don't do underwater. Like this, they're having a picnic. You can see this one is drinking a bottle of pop or soda of something. And this one's eating a banana. So those are not typically things that you do when you're underwater. I don't spend a lot of time underwater. But if I was underwater, I probably would do neither of these things. So I guess that's what makes it unusual. That card sold for $7.95. Here we have, by golly, another lot of cards. This is a lot of 100 assorted unused Chrome era cards. You can see there quickly just a couple of them. There's a real photo in there. A trolley, Holiday Inn. Like the others, this is 100 unused Chrome era postcards, and that lot sold for $21.95 plus shipping. So I think we sold about 6 or 7 lots this past week, which is good. Here we have a view at Big Bear Lake in California. This is a winter scene, obviously. You can see all the snow there, some old cars, and it is a Chrome era card. It was posted in 1970. Although the view looks like it could be a little older than that, but hey, 1970 was over 50 years ago. And that card sold for $7.95. Next up, we have a customer who bought 7 postcards. We'll look at them real quickly here. This one is a railroad terminal in Charlestown, Massachusetts, posted in 1913. This is a railroad station in Framingham, Massachusetts, posted in 1908. Here is the Winter Hill Railroad Depot in Somerville, Massachusetts, posted in 1912. I'm seeing a pattern here. This is the Eames Square trolley. You can see the trolley there. This is again in Framingham, Massachusetts. This card was used in 1906. Then we have the Central Hill Park, the Old Fort and Fountain in Central Hill Park, Somerville, Massachusetts. Here is another view in Framingham. This says Learned's Pond in South Framingham, Massachusetts. It is postally used, an undivided back card. And the last one here is the high schools in Somerville. It says English and Latin high schools in Somerville, posted in 1907. So these cards are all views in Massachusetts, a couple towns specifically, and those 7 cards sold for a total of $46.65. That was all one buyer, obviously. Here we have yet again a lot of 100 cards. This is 100 all Florida cities views as sorted eras. So these could be, again, any era, and it doesn't specify unused, so they could also be postally used or not. This lot sold for $21.95. Here we have a Christmas card. This is Santa Claus and a stocking full of toys. Here you see Santa on the right, surrounded by some holly, and a stocking full of toys on the left. This is a divided back era card. It was posted in 1913. It is embossed, as you can see. You can see the design from the front of the card on the back, and that sold for $5.95. Here is a pretty little girl with flowers in her hair. This is a real photo postcard that has been colorized. It's a divided back era card posted in 1908. And you will come across these occasionally, these colorized real photos. And you can see that the flowers in her hair look like they might be roses or pink. I had this card listed for $12.95, and I got an offer of $10, which I accepted. Here is a view in Breezewood, Pennsylvania. This is a view on the Lincoln Highway. This is Shorty's place, and Shorty had cabins where you could stay the night, and he also had gas for your car, and also no doubt there was a place to eat here. It's your typical roadside stop with everything you need: food, gas, and a place to sleep. This, as I said, was in Breezewood, Pennsylvania. This card was up for auction. I started it at $24.95, and it got one bid, sold for that price. It is I would say, a late linen, early photochrome era card. And I think this is the last one for today. This is Service Auto Wreckers in Carlstadt, New Jersey. It says Percy Clifton under here. I don't know if Percy Clifton was the person who owned Service Auto Wreckers, but this is a neat white border card. You can see it was posted in 1944 during the Second World War. They is someplace where, obviously they had, they were auto wreckers. They collected them and put them in their lot and sold them for parts and what have you. Some neat old automobiles in this view. You would not see automobiles like this in an auto wrecking yard today. These types of cars are long gone, unfortunately. And this card also was an auction, started at $19.95 and received one bid for that price. So that is everything we sold this past week. Hope you enjoyed looking at those.
Howdy, folks. It's time for another look at some neat gas station postcards from Mark's personal collection. Every journey should start with a full tank of gas. And personally, I think Mark is full of gas, but don't tell him I said so. Sit back and enjoy the ride.
I don't know. I think I'm going to have to get a new talent agency. These people just aren't working out. Anyway, that aside, let's take a look at some cool gas station postcards. First up, you might recognize this was my thumbnail for today's video. This is the Real McCoys in Black River Falls, Wisconsin. And you can see the station across the street here. I'll zoom in a little bit. You can see gas pumps over here, gas pumps over here. There's also a cafe there. Like most of these older rest station areas, they serve more than one purpose. Not just today, you have a gas station, you can go in and there's a convenience store, but you can't really sit down and have somebody serve you some hot food. And you certainly don't have people come out and fill your car with gas and clean your windshield and check your oil. So I don't want to overlook these people here. I'm guessing their name might be McCoy. Yes, it says on the back, here's the 6 Real McCoys. So I'm guessing that's Mr. and his 2 sons. And over here is probably Mrs. and their $2. So there's the 6 of them. They are the Real McCoys, and they were there to serve you. And that is a really neat chrome card, I think. Next up, we have a view at, I have to read the backs of these to see what's on there. This is a the Old Village store in Bird in Hand, Pennsylvania. Out in the Amish area around Lancaster, there are a lot of strange names for towns, this being one of them. And here you can see the couple Amish guys, and they have their horse-drawn wagon pulled up to the pumps, but they are not gassing up their horses, obviously. They look like they're putting some fuel in some cans for something that they need to do. Here you see the pumps. They're Atlantic pumps. There's a Pennzoil sign. Above the building there, it says the Old Village Store, Hardware. And there's a Goodyear tire sign. So that's another cool chrome card. Here we have a view in near Wells, New York. This is the gas station, store, and dance pavilion of Frank Stanyan. This is a white border card, and we need to zoom in a little bit here, see a little bit more. Kind of shown from a distance. Here you can see a sign that says dancing, refreshments. There are some vehicles pulled up there. And across the road here you see some gas pumps over here. And it looks like somebody walking there. And they also have a public campsite. So this says at the public auto campsite along the Sacandaga River near Wells, New York. Back to a chrome card. This is a neat looking one. A lot going on in this view. This is the Three Forks Inn and Motor Lodge in Hill City, South Dakota. And pretty cool. They have a car with their business along the side. This looks like a 1959 Chevy. And I know that because my parents used to own one, a convertible to be exact. Loved that car. Said that they sold it, but so goes life. So there's a cool 59 Chevy parked there, and look at all the signage. Here's a couple neon signs up here saying Three Forks Inn. On the building, they have more picnic supplies, groceries. It says, "We feed you." That's nice. I like to be fed. Pancakes, waffles, hamburgers. Looks like they also have some rooms for rent. But the main feature of the card with gas stations, here's your gas pumps over here. It says Phillips 66. So just a very busy scene there, and not untypical of roadside stops back in that era. This looks like 60s era, this particular card. Then we have the next couple cards are the same spot, but they are different views. This is a really cool place. This is the Bomber gas station in Milwaukee, Oregon, which is, that's 6 miles south of Portland, Oregon. And this is Art Lacey's Bomber Station. Here you can see the gas pumps here, and poised above the gas pumps is this huge military bomber airplane, and the gas pumps are underneath there. You pull under there to gas up. Another view of it, this one from looking straight on, there's the airplane there. This is a real photo view, and there again you can see the gas pumps. Another view, which probably the best view of the four that I have, is this side view, looking at it from the side. Here you see Texaco sign. It says the Bomber up here, and obviously you can see the Bomber. Texaco signs, gas pumps, some old cars, very cool cars. And the last view of that, a little bit closer up view from looking from the front of the Bomber, and some more gas pumps. So just one, as it says, the only one in the world. Yes, I have not ever pulled into a gas station, unfortunately, that had a Bomber airplane as a canopy. That is pretty cool. And it just shows you some of the unique roadside stops. that we used to have here in America. Not a lot of them left, if any. Okay, moving on. Here's a view in Colebrook, Pennsylvania. This picture is taken from a little bit of a distance, so it's hard to see everything. But here is the gas station. Some people there are gassing up right as this photo was taken. There's a gentleman off to the right here, I would guess could be the owner, and he's leaning on an old car. And here's a car parked by the side of the road, and I'm guessing this is the photographer's car. He pulled off to take this shot. Often in old postcards, you will actually see the photographer's car will be in the photo many times. So a bit of a distant view, but typical roadside gas station. Here's a multi-view card. This is also a real photo. This is in Kalkaska, Michigan, and it features Davenport's Insurance, and we also have cabins back here. And then down at the bottom is Davenport's, well, it says Davenport's Motel, and then we have the Sunoco station. And here's the insurance office over here again. So I'm guessing that this person, Davenport, owned all of these things. So here's a Sunoco station. Here's a garage bay over here, but here's the main part of the gas station. Here's the pumps out front. And all in all, pretty interesting card there. What's next? Oh, we have an Esso station. Moving a little bit as we're looking at it. This is Hartman's Service. They have Esso gas. There's some people gassing up there. One of them might be Mr. Hartman. You can see the pumps here. Large Esso sign up there. This service station was in Holidays Cove, West Virginia. A white border error card. Then we're back to a real photo. This is a cool one. This is Brooksy's in Laconia, New Hampshire. And a lot going on at Brooksy's. We'll zoom in here a little bit. There's a car being gassed up. You can see the, it says Saccone up here, but we have the red flying horse of, what was that, Mobil Gas. There's the pumps. Looks like the horse on the pumps, if I'm seeing that correctly. Here's a sign, says fried clams, dining room. And moving on down, there's telephone, car washing, get car washed there. Also have mobile lubrication, tire repairs. There in that building, so zooming back out, there's Brooksy's. A lot going on at Brooksy's, but they have what you need. Next up is Genthner's service station, Waldoboro, Maine. This is a linen error card. Here you see the gas pumps. I can't quite tell what type those are, but it says first grade gas, does that say 6 gallons for $1? I think that says. That is interesting. And here it says Roland Genthner on the front of the building. So he's got some garage bays. Also works on service station and gas. Another interesting view. This is Cedar Cabins at Watertown, New York. Gotta zoom in on this. The zoomer wasn't working. Here's your gas pumps. Large Atlantic sign there. There's the pumps. There's the building. Got some cool signage. Couple Coca-Cola signs. Those would be worth a small fortune today. It says Cedar Cabin Sandwiches, Candy, Tobaccos. Another Coca-Cola sign on the side of the building. Pretty rustic looking place. And that's what makes it so interesting. Then we have a place in Atlanta, Michigan. This is Atlanta One Stop Service. And you can see it's a multi-view card. Got a place to eat. Here's the restaurant part. Here's everybody posing for a picture. They got a counter and lots of tables. Backing up a little bit. We're zooming back in. Let's look down here. Here's some attendants. Here's your gas pumps over here. You can see the sign for the cafe that we just looked at. Over this way, we've got another gas pump, some service bays over here. And over here, we've got a Quaker State sign. There's an old car, a Wolf's Head Oil, one-stop service and restaurant. So another neat place. Lots to see on that one. Next up is Mapleview Diner in Mapleview, New York. And they are not only a diner, as you can see. We can have this card in our restaurant category. But in this case, the predominant thing here seems to be the gas station part. Sunoco, and that's why I have it under gas stations. It's the Mapleview Diner and Service Station. There's your gas pumps. That is a white border era card. Let's see. Next up is Crown Point Trading Post on the Crown Point Reservation in New York. Zooming in. There looks to be some lovely ladies, no doubt the waitresses in the restaurant part, which is over here. Some old cars parked out there, and here's the gas station part. See the gas pumps, and here's an attendant or two. The little building that the attendant operates out of. Another white border era card. Next is a real photo card, and we need to zoom in to get a look at this. Again, it's taken from a distance, so a lot of the card is just scenery, so we got to zoom in to see the part that we're interested in. Here is the Sunset Lodge Cafe. It seems like a log building there. Some cars parked outside. And then over here, we have the Sunset Lodge gas station. And you can see the gas pumps there. And portico over the pumps. Some signs for Atlas tires and batteries. Up here it says Chevron Supreme Gasoline. Chevron gas station. Pretty cool one. Real photo postcard. Another real photo. This is CBH Park, Rapid City, South Dakota. A little hard to read that, but there you can see CBH Park. It says cabins up there. Here's the cafe. As typical, got a place to eat. That's very important. Got a car needs gas, but so do you. And I mean that in a fuel sense. Here's some gas pumps over here. Here's a little office, probably for the gas station attendant. Here's some cabins down here. There's a Coca-Cola sign. Not sure what this little windmill is for, but it's decorative. And here you can see another building with CBH Park AAA on the top. Sign for cabins. So lots to see on that one. Neat real photo. Here's a Chrome era card. This is Dotson's Mount Storm Lodge, just east of Mount Storm, West Virginia on US 50. That's a colorful view. Moving in, we can see here says the dining room. Lots of signage over here. And this, where this gentleman is standing, I see Dotson's. It says Coca-Cola, Mount Storm Lodge, good food, sandwiches, our specialty, good food, restaurant, Coca-Cola. So lots of signage on the building. I don't want you to miss it. That is a Chrome era card. Going back to a real photo. This is the Pines, Frank Davis proprietor, 16 miles west of Seney, Michigan. So again, see some old cars. We need to zoom in to see a little bit better. There it says the Pines. There's a sign for beer. Got your pumps here. Texaco. Somebody's gassing up as we're looking here. Park for cars only. That sign says. Texaco motor oil on the side there. So cabin over here. So another log type building. So that's a pretty neat scene there on that one. Next up, we're in Richmond, Virginia, and this is Royals Tourist Camp and Cottages. As always, they don't offer just gas. They're offering you a lot of different things because you might need a lot of different things. There's your gas pumps, some signage on the building, some people standing outside, no doubt employees, maybe the owner too. Going over this way, here's an entrance where you could go in and I'm sure get something to eat. Says drinks, candy, cigars. I can't read what's up there. Looks like it says shower bay, baths, cottages, and that little building off to the side here. So that looks like a, let me see. That's a white border era card and a nice colorful view. Back to a real photo. This is, you will recall, we just looked at this. This is the Mount Storm Lodge. We just looked at it here in a colorized chrome version. Well, here's a slightly different view on a real photo. And we'll notice some differences here. This canopy or portico like area where you could pull in under here has been closed in and made available space, and the pumps are not there. That were gas pumps that were there. Here's a Texaco sign. And let's look over here where most of the action is. There's a Texaco sign, Mount Storm Lodge, sign for dinners, rooms. Looks like sandwiches, dinner, chicken, ham, plate lunch. Lots of signage there. So this is obviously the older view of the building, and it's a little bit updated here. And I know I have it together, even though it doesn't appear to be a gas station anymore, unless there's pumps in some other location. But I like to keep the same place together. Different variations. I like to keep the different variations together just to compare side by side. And lastly, probably the neatest card of this bunch, love this card. This is the Lionville Garage in Lionville, Pennsylvania, which is in the eastern part of the state. And if you want to locate it better, you can just go over here and look and see from where they are. It's 15 miles to Pottstown or 9 to Westchester. And Downingtown is this way. And Phoenixville is that way. So if you looked on a map, it'd be easy to pinpoint Lionville. And just a really neat old card. This is a divided back card. It was posted, it looks like 1921. And there's just a lot to see. Looking over here, here's an old automobile parked here. Might very well be the photographer. Here's a Texaco gas pump, some nice signs, Mobil Oil, Fisk, gas, 25 cents. This is probably the owner here and his kids. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kids. I don't see a missus, but she might be busy elsewhere. Nice sign above the door says Atlantic Motor Oils. Upkeep down. Lionville Garage there. Again, your mileage signs to different towns. Another gas pump over here. Does that say Good Golf Gasoline? And just an old wooden building. This looks like a barn. And that is just a very cool old vintage view. So that is it for our look at gas stations again this week. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, next week we are due to visit the famous landmark on the Lincoln Highway, the Ship Hotel. And I'm going to spend that entire segment just focused on the ship because there are so many views out there and so much to do with the Ship Hotel that we need to devote the whole segment to that. So come back next week for, if you're interested, a view and look at the Ship Hotel. In the meantime, thank you very much for watching our channel. Again, if you like us, please give us a like. If you haven't subscribed, please do that. But as always, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.